We're getting into a conversation with Penplusbytes. Now, all of us here at MG are products of Penplusbytes. We're taught how to use ICT, to effectively enhance our journalism work, and it has helped us a great deal. Now, Penplusbytes is 18, and I've been joined by Juliet Amma, who is Executive Director at Penplusbytes, and also Jerry Sam, who's Programs Director at Penplusbytes. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Jerry. Tell us a little bit about Penplusbytes.
So we've been around since 2001. We started very small, and as all organizations, we want to grow. So we've grown. We've moved from just training journalists to enhance their work using digital tools to a position now that we're developing tools, applications, creating spaces for citizens to influence governance, to be able to have their voices heard on the corridors of power. So the government will design policies that will meet their needs. We're also still working with the media, because the media is still our core constituent. And we train the media to use new skills and trending applications and platforms to enhance reporting, news gathering, news production, publishing as well, and to improve on the oversight over the executive of parliament, and also to be part of the advocacy work of civil society.
Right.
So in the past, we have stayed behind and empowering citizens, empowering the media to make sure that we actually enjoy the dividends of our democracy. But in recent times, as we've seen, you saw us in the campaign to pass the RTI bill into law.
Yeah.
We are at the forefront of leading the campaign, especially on social media.
Right.
We worked around other things around social accountability, looking at school feeding program, for instance, looking at LEAP. We're working with Parliament. So we've actually broadened our scope over the years, and we're still impacting society.
Juliet, 18 years. How has it been? How's the journey been? How did we get here?
It's been exciting, really, really exciting. And just as Jerry was saying, we've kind of repositioned ourselves every 4 to 5 years because we believe that a strategy shouldn't be fixed, and that as society changes, as the needs of a country changes, civil society should change with it. And so what we've done is put ourselves in that space, which allows us to look at the developmental challenges that we have in Ghana,
right,
and to go about impacting and positively intervening and shaping the future, both for civil society and for our country.
Jerry, can you tell us some of the projects you've embarked on and the ones that you're looking to embark on as Penplusbytes turns 18?
That's a plethora of them. I'm sure we could really use the whole of the newsday program to talk about projects. But we've always hinged our work around disruptive technology. So you mentioned Penplusbytes, and a lot of the time, most of the things that people think about is technology and transforming governance.
Right.
Currently, we're working with Parliament. We're trying to open up Parliament, connecting citizens to Parliament using technology. We also believe in inclusivity in development. So we're doing projects that will let people who we consider as democratic outsiders, who normally you don't hear them contributing to development. So, for instance, we're working with people living with disability, we're working with women groups, we're working with the youth, trying to create awareness amongst this group, trying to empower them, create the spaces for them to also be part of it.
Right.
So we're doing the Deliver project. We're also doing a program around data journalism. So, for instance, we're doing training for media journalists. We're also working with other media groups to also take advantage of the skill sets and the knowledge that we have in this area of data journalism to improve the work of journalists. We're also doing work on social accountability, looking at social protection policies, so that those who are considered poor in the society will know what government has for them in terms of policy, so they can take advantage of it. And we're working around health, using the same technology, so that citizens will know their rights when they go to health institutions. Right. And all this, we don't do it as one way, we do it in 2 ways, so that we get feedback, and then we work towards closing that feedback, get a response from government. What is the point of creating all these platforms when it does not make an impact?
Right.
But then, so we rope in government, so the government will have an ear on what citizens are saying, and also input those things that citizens are saying into their programming. We also have a new one coming called the Media Information Literacy, which Juliet is very on top of. And should tell us
You want
more.
to comment on that, Juliet, before I ask my final question?
Yes, actually, we're looking at the whole space, the whole media space, and the co-creation that social media has allowed people to do.
Right.
And we're saying that the campaign should be actually, rather than wait for governments to start hitting back and doing a lot of regulation, as people who use social media, we should probably do self-regulation. And so Penplusbytes has gotten into that space, and we're thinking that we should be training people to co-create content responsibly and to look at disinformation, misinformation, and how they're interacting with news content that they're consuming on all the social media platforms.
Jerry, we have
And
limited
let
time.
me just quickly tie into what Juliet is saying, that
Okay.
elections is coming.
Right.
And we know about fake news, how it changed the
yes.
scope.
I know how active you were in the 2016 elections.
Correct.
So 2020 is going to be the same?
Yes, and we're going to be doing an early warning system,
Right.
To look at the vigilantism area, to see how we can prevent it from influencing our election,
Right.
prevent how fake news and misinformation is shared on WhatsApp groups and on Facebook and on Twitter, and how we can counter it. We'll probably do a joint program with TV3
Right.
to see how we can, make sure that people are much more informed on the electoral process,
Sure.
so that at the end of the day we'll have a credible election which is accepted by all.
Juliet, you have the final one. 18 years, what do you want people to know, and how can they reach you quickly before we wrap up?
We want people to know that we're here to stay. We've shown our pedigree. We've done it for 18 years. We are open to partnerships. We're open to new ways of doing things. As Jerry was saying, we use disruptive technology, and we can only get better. That's what.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, Juliet and Jerry are both from Penplusbytes, and Penplusbytes is 18. You can reach them on social media.